So now I want to go over different ways to attack. There's two real major theories on the best way to attack. One of which is to attack with infantry and cavalry. Now, the reason why they do infantry is because you need a really big wall of HP to just soak up all that damage. Now, this formation is better for attacking into castles and tiles that have more troops in them than what you have. Because if you attack and you have low HP and you go up against a castle full of lots of soldiers, doesn't matter which type of soldiers they have, their overwhelming numbers will kill you if you don't have a lot of HP to protect your troops. So that's why I often like to send 80% to 90% infantry and 10% cavalry. Now, I'm not quite there, don't have my troops how I want them to be, but this is just an example of how I would set up my formation if I was going to attack into a castle that has more troops than I do. Now, the other theory of thought is that you would attack with infantry in front and then have cannons from behind. Now, a lot of people will say put, 20% infantry in front and then just load up on the cannons. Now, I used to fight that way, and it was to a degree very successful, but I often looked back at my battle reports and found that I either had superior troops or superior numbers to what I was attacking. I would attack a lot of small castles and I'd be just tearing up and I'd think I'd be invincible. And the thing that really changed my mind was when I had 1.6 million troops in my castle and somebody with 240,000 troops attacked me and killed 600,000 of my troops. I said, what in the world? How is that even possible? Well, he hit me with just infantry and cavalry. And because I had just a huge amount of siege, he just came through and just slaughtered all my siege and ran right past my infantry because his charge activated. So that's always a risk you take when you load up on lots of ranged units and you don't have a lot of frontline units, infantry and cavalry, to really protect those troops. But if you run a 60% infantry and 40% cannons, you can still do a lot of damage and have that HP in the front and still kill with your cannons. We can go over how troops work against each other. I personally believe in the HP method of having more HP out on the battlefield, especially if you have it in a single troop type like infantry, because all of that damage is done to that troop and it's spread out. And if you have it all in layers down through the line, that first line will get hit with a lot of damage, and then the next one will soak through, and you're killing off your front line, and that's a really expensive way to play because you're constantly having to bring back infantry because you keep on losing them and losing them and losing them. But if you send a lot of infantry, your losses will be less in that regard, and you'll be able to hold on to them for longer. Well, that's pretty much all I got for the two theories of attack. There is very special circumstances where you'd attack with archers because this guy has a tile full of spearmen and archers have an anti-spearman ability that they have where it restrains them and doesn't allow them to deal as much damage. And they take more damage too. But those circumstances aren't ones that you want to plan for, per se. I would have some archers in your castle just to help in the defense when you are attacked by infantry, because later on in the game, there's going to be T11 infantry, which are spearmen, that are going to come in and try and zero you. So that's important. But other than that, you just kind of have to choose what you're going to do. Are you going to go infantry and cannons and really focus in on those troops, or are you going to go infantry and cavalry? Or you can try and mix it and just have it strong across the board. At this point, I don't suggest really investing in archers, but to each their own. That's all I got for you. Thanks for listening. Bye.